walk through. So, your day begins with your PowerPoint not working. Day begins, and you are awoken by a student snoring incredibly loudly in a tent next to you. So you haven't slept well, you're in a bad mood, and no one's even up yet. So, next, you have to wake up all of your cook crews. Who are the kids that are in charge of making the food for everyone in the morning? They don't want to be woken up, they're teenagers, they're upset, they're all moody, they go to make the breakfast, they calculate it incorrectly, there's not enough food for everyone, and it's like 6:45, and it's like, this is how the day's gonna be. So the rest of the students wake up, they're not happy with this breakfast, they complain, the cooks get defensive, you've got like 18 mad teenagers that are at each other's throats already. Oh, it's not going well. So then in the morning, as a staff member, you have to distribute all the medication, prep for the day. Yeah, you have to distribute all the medication. So we as leaders have to hold on to what the kids have just to be safe, and you have to keep very detailed notes so that you don't give someone too much or the wrong thing, or not malaria or Malarone rather than doxycycline, et cetera, et cetera. So you got to really focus on that, take diligent notes. Then you round up the students, you're trying to get them ready for the day, and they're not fighting, and you're making this announcement, you're trying to rally the troops, and this kid makes a really good, that's what she said joke, and you start laughing, and you lose moral authority, and your leaders are not anything. You weren't the right guy, and that one happened to me, actually. So you're the fun leader now, and we have to be the bad guy, so that didn't help. So you get to the work site a little later than you're supposed to. Your foreman is upset with you because you're late. You I have to take a drink of water, sorry.
Woo!
Thank you. So you get to the work site, your foreman's upset that you're late, the materials aren't ready, your kids are starting to mill around, and suddenly 15 students are looking at you like, what are we gonna do? They start running around, the foreman leaves, you have to try to entertain them and go through some sort of team building activity. It's not working. Somehow a kid like falls on a spike and hurts his leg, so you have to decide who's gonna take him to the hospital, and you gotta take diligent notes about it. And your world is falling apart, and then suddenly people are fighting, and it's just like, we haven't even had lunch yet, and so this kind of stuff happens. So that is one morning. Let's just say that's one morning, and I'll leave it at that. Now, to go even bigger, on these trips sometimes there can be problems of young people trying to bring alcohol, or buy alcohol, or buy cigarettes, or buy fireworks, or something like that. And if you catch them doing that, you have to send them home, and at their parents' expense, and it's awful. It's happened before where kids were sea kayaking through the Geringer fjords in Norway, and they're in the middle of their 5-day trip, and they got caught, and our director made a leader get them to the airport from the middle of Norway to send them home, and it was like this huge debacle. So you got to deal with this stuff and like take very diligent notes about it too. When I worked in Costa Rica the first time, there were some young local Costa Rican boys, teenagers, they were very interested in the girls on my trip. So they would come every night, and they knock on the doors, and they left a dead iguana on our doors. So you got to try to keep them apart, because our girls, somehow that iguana worked, and they wanted to talk to them. So we had to moderate that kind of stuff. So it was, that was a challenge of working with that. Nightly talks. At night, you're having these great presentations, and maybe Kobe can speak to it. We go through processing of what it means to not be in nature enough, what is it like to do service, are we serving anyone really, or are they serving us? I don't know. So you kind of do these great things. And one activity we do is called the 3 Pillars activity. And in this activity, everyone talks about what are the 3 things that have defined them up to this point, what are the 3 pillars that hold them up. And if this isn't done correctly, or it's done too early, or not done sensitively, some really extensive information can come out. Like students have admitted their parents hit them, or they thought about suicide on this trip, or all these awful things, and then you as a leader, you have to report it, and mandatory reporting, and you get involved with the parents, and it becomes this whole sad debacle that unfortunately happens quite a bit. I've been lucky that didn't happen on mine. And then the worst case, I'm gonna go Mike Zoll pre-port on you guys right now. So in 2012, I was in Costa Rica at the time, but there was another company very similar to ours who was running a program in Hawaii. And there were some leaders similar to me that were hired by someone like me that were out sea kayaking in Hawaii. And they go, and their sea kayaking guides that were hired by the company say, there's this really great pool around here, it's a natural pool on this island, we should go to it, it's a beautiful sunset view. Of course, let's go, let's do this. So they go, and they're all having fun, it's just as beautiful as the guide said it would be. And then a rogue wave comes and pulls all these kids out, and one of them never comes back.
Oh.
and I don't mean to be such a downer, but there's these jobs, as fun as and exciting as they are, could you imagine having to call back and tell a parent that? So when I would work over the summer and you'd have the beeper or the duty phone and it goes off at 3 in the morning, this is the kind of stuff you're terrified about. So I encourage you to go in this industry, but just know that it comes with great responsibility as well. All right, so let me go and get out of that horrible loop here and let's go into a good day. So your group is at a performing stage, they're wonderful, they get along, everyone's fine. No one hurts themselves, that's great, that's a very good day. The service work is a breeze, everyone gets everything done, everything's there on time. Your co-leaders all get along. Adventure sports are well organized. Your nightly activities go so well, and the processing, and I was on a trip once and the processing was so good and the kids came together so well that a girl felt comfortable enough to come out to us as a group, and she hadn't told anyone else, and it was this really meaningful, wonderful moment that wouldn't have happened, I don't know, or it wouldn't have happened, I don't think, if we had gotten to that point as a group. So there's some really beautiful stuff. And years later, you hear from students, I still do now, where they're in school and they're so happy they got in and they wrote their entrance essay about that trip they did with us. So there's a lot of value that comes with this program that you're not getting paid for. So here's some truth. This is not a free vacation. This is not lucrative, I'll tell you that. This is not easy. These are challenging trips. However, they can be very life-changing. They're incredibly powerful for both you and the students. And I would say very rewarding, or else I wouldn't keep coming back and doing this. So let's wrap it up. One, these opportunities exist. If you seek them out, they are there. I know when you finish this trip, you're going to be like, how can I get back out into the world after such an amazing time? There are ways to do it. Number two, make your 5-year plans in pencil. That was something my friend told me, and as you may have seen my diagram of what I did, it wasn't really well plotted out. And then do it while you're young, as my aunt and uncle would have said. So that's all I got. Thank you.